When I first laid eyes on this 1970 Volkswagen Beetle, it wasn't exactly love at first sight. Honestly, it looked like it had been abandoned in the jungle for decades, except the jungle was my neighbor's backyard. Rust? Check. Missing headlights? Check. A smell that could only be described as vintage horror? Oh, absolutely. But despite all that, I couldn't walk away. Why? Because I saw potential. Or maybe I just lost a bet with my wife. Either way, this Beetle was about to become my obsession. So, why a 1970 Beetle, you ask? Well, I grew up riding in one of these with my dad. That little bug was practically a member of the family, until it broke down, and Dad traded it for a microwave. Yeah, a microwave. That's a wound I've carried for years. This project? It's my way of bringing that old nostalgia back, but with a little less rust and a lot more horsepower. Step 1. Operation Degrime. This Beetle had collected decades of dirt, dust, and, I'm pretty sure, a small family of spiders. Scrubbing it down felt less like cleaning a car and more like excavating an artifact. Every wipe of the sponge revealed a new shade of rust. It was like opening a very disappointing Christmas present, over and over. Then came the disassembly. Pro tip: label everything. Otherwise, you'll spend 3 hours asking yourself, does this bolt go in the engine or the cup holder? I ended up with piles of parts, a couple of mystery screws, and one very concerned wife, who kept muttering, "It's never going back together, is it?" But I wasn't giving up. Next came the fun stuff, replacing the engine and giving the Beetle a fresh coat of paint. Installing the engine? It was like solving a 3D puzzle with a manual written in hieroglyphs. And the paint job? Let's just say, I discovered I'm not Picasso, but the bright turquoise I picked out? Chef's kiss. It brought the little bug back to life. And then, the moment of truth. I turned the key, and for a second, nothing happened. My heart sank faster than the Beetle's old suspension. But then, a cough, a sputter, and finally, the sweet, sweet hum of an engine coming to life. It was like hearing a symphony, or at least, that's how it felt to me. My neighbor? He said it sounded more like a lawnmower. But what does he know? Taking it for that first drive was pure magic. Every rattle and squeak was music to my ears, because I'd earned it. That little Beetle, once a pile of rust and regret, was now a gleaming, roaring piece of history. And driving it, it felt like reconnecting with a part of myself I didn't even know I'd missed. Restoring this Beetle taught me more than just how to fix a car. It reminded me that anything can be brought back to life with enough patience, love, and elbow grease. So what are you waiting for? Find your own project, your own dream, and get your hands dirty. Who knows? You might just end up with a story to tell, and a car that turns heads. See you on the road.